What is up, everyone? J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Get cozy here. Yeah, I know it's a little late, and this should have come out last week. It just didn't happen. You know, there's days I try to catch up with stuff, and I get a few things done, and then there's a few days that go by, and I just don't get anything done. Well, it's what happens. Better late than never, though. So this is the go-home show for Crossroads, which is tomorrow. But hey, that's all right. I still wanted to get on here and talk about this because this was a loaded show. This show had a little bit of everything. It had comedy, it had some great wrestling, and it also had a spot that was absolutely horrifying that everybody is talking about. And like the guys from the MMM show said, I think there's probably most people talking about Impact Wrestling or things surrounding Impact Wrestling than since like all the whole stuff with the Broken Hardy situation. And I mean, in a positive way, like the final deletion or the, what was that? Back when the Hardys were in Impact Wrestling and they had all the stuff in the compound and all the, the broken characters, and that became pretty popular. Except this is, talking about a specific person from the roster. Lots of different opinions about him. I'll give mine and my opinion about this whole situation with Sami Callihan and the match between him and Eddie Edwards. Hang on. There's someone at the door of my office. What is up? What? You got to come in here, okay? You're in here now. Are you good? You gonna come say hi? You gonna come up? You're gonna come up and say hi? Huh? Yeah. Come up, say hi. You don't say hi much on here. This is Whiskey. Say hi. Oh, I love my whiskey. Okay. You got your 5 minutes. Fine. Let's talk about this episode. Gotta love my cats. Love J-Bone, love his cats. That's the rule. Before we start talking about specific things on the episode, I want to say that the whole new thing that Josh Matthews and Sanjay Dutt are doing, where it looks like they're talking about, they're standing there talking about content on the show, and there's like, what do they call that? Green screen effects, where you can put stuff behind them and they're in front of a green screen. That is a new addition to the show, and I dig it. I like it a lot. It looks like they're in a studio, but they're not really in a studio. But I like it. It's done well. It looks clean. It looks professional, and I like it. So I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in on that before I started talking about this. And it looks like my wife was scribbling on my notes again. Gotta love her. So this episode starts out with a nice dose of comedy. Match between EC3 versus Tyrus. And we saw that go down last week, where Tyrus got sick of EC3's attitude and basically dumped him on the curb, left the match, and now we get a match between the two in the aftermath of all this. Which, like I said last week, I'm surprised that that match did not end up in a DQ, but it's not like it was a rundown or anything. So whatever, it is what it is. I'm not going to overthink it, as I have with stuff in the past. And you critique stuff down to the move. It's like, it's not worth it. So Tyrus comes out. Tyrus comes out with a win in this one with a Tongan death grip slam. And they said during this match that Tyrus is back because he wants gold. And I was, well, first of all, the fact that Tyrus was back, I was shocked anyways. So I don't know how much Tyrus really is going to be sticking around. We haven't seen him in a long time in the Impact Zone. So, and I like Tyrus, and I liked him with EC3, but now, as we all know, EC3 is no longer with the company. He's kind of pulling a Rick Rude, although he hasn't shown up. At least, I gotta do some catching up on NXT. He hasn't shown up in NXT yet, with the exception of at the last big event, he was at ringside. He showed up. War Machine was at ringside. Ricochet was at ringside. And I think that's all the special appearances that were at that. So and I know EC3's time as far as in these tapings is now obviously limited as to what's left for him. Did Tyrus just come back for this set of tapings to wrap up stuff with EC3 because he knew he was out the door? I don't know. I have no clue how long Tyrus is really going to be around. But he looks like he's in a lot better shape than he used to be. He's always posting stuff on his social media for working out. So props to him for trying to get in better shape. I mean, he's a big guy. He really is. And it's always great to see him as more of a force in the ring as opposed to a dancing clown, and hey, I loved his character in the WWE back in the day. Back in the day, it makes it sound like it's like retro or something. No, I just mean back when he was in the WWE a few years ago. And he was doing the hip hop thing with Naomi and I can't think of her name. I was going to say Carmella. That's not it. Whatever her name is. The two girls, and they were dancing, and it was fun. The kids loved it. They always got the kids involved. It was what it was at the time. But now Tyrus is like more of a badass character, and I prefer that way. It's how he started out with who was he with back then? I want to say Alberto Del Rio. And we'll talk about him in a little bit too. Some things going on with him. But like I said, Tyrus comes out with a win here. It'll be very interesting to see what goes forth with him in Impact Wrestling. Are they gonna give him a little push? Are they gonna use him more? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see. And we get a great match between Phantasma and Braxton Sutter. It almost looks at first like the Latino. I'm trying to think what they call this title. It's like a mid-card title in AAA. Latin. It's the Latin American Championship, I think. It wasn't up for grabs, but he brought it with, which is cool. And he won that off of Mundo. I think Mundo had like all the belts down there. It was crazy. It was late last year, whatever it was. And then one by one, he dropped them all. Which that was crazy. Yeah, that was. How do you have all the belts except for the tag team belts? He can't be a tag team champ by himself. But anyways, great match between Phantasma and Braxton Sutter. and Phantasma leaves, and then Braxton Sutter is out there, and he starts whining and complaining, and I'm the best, and I'm this, and I'm that, and whatever. And Cage comes out and shuts him up. And the new finisher that he's using is called a drill claw. It's like a sit down pile driver sort of move. It's brutal. It's a little different from what is normal. What does he usually use? The Weapon X or something like that. And that's a great move too, but looks like this is going to be his finisher in the Impact Zone. So that shuts up Braxton Sutter. Cage walks in, kicks his ass, leaves. Brutal. So, I love what they're doing with Cage. He's a monster. He's like the new monster in the Impact Zone. Just a badass. I mean, this guy is so strong, but he's also so quick, and he can move like a luchador. He's unbelievable. And like I've said before, if you're unfamiliar with his stuff, go check out the last couple seasons of Lucha Underground, or go to the YouTube channel. Go look at some of his matches. Some of his past matches are on there. Go look him up. He also was a former champ in Future Stars of Wrestling in Vegas, and Cross took his championship, if I'm not mistaken, which was a great match, by the way. So yeah, can't wait to see what's next for Cage. So we get a quick interview with Seidel. Ishimori stops by and hands him a scroll. This is regarding the challenge or whatever that's going to happen tomorrow at Crossroads. And Ishimori calls Seidel a douchebag. It's a riot. So funny. We get a quick match between Congo Kong and Joseph Park. Jimmy Jacobs cutting a promo saying they still want Abyss to come out. So I have a feeling that's going to happen sooner than later. It's not booked for Crossroads, but it could very well happen at Crossroads. I have absolutely no doubt. We'll see. Could be like one of those surprise things, like they come out and they're like, we're waiting, and then he shows up and then a quick match or something like that. We'll see. At least I don't think it is. Well, whatever. Poolside segment, confrontation between the Cult of Lee, and they're just all wet. They're all wet. And the tag champs LAX. They'll be defending their championships at Crossroads against Cult of Lee. Very funny segment. And of course, Conan's in there too. Great stuff. Hey, Styles is in the chat. It's time. It's Impact time. That's right, Styles. What's up, Styles? How you doing? So yeah, that tag team match between the two will be really good. I have no doubt. The guys from LAX and the guys from Cult of Lee always, no matter what they're doing, put on a good match. You're good? Good to hear, man. We get a quick match between Hanaya and Rosemary. It's a good match, but I think that'll pretty much wrap up Hanaya's time in the Impact Zone. And like I said, I still don't know the backstory on what happened, why she's out. If it was ego-based, I have no idea. But nonetheless, this rivalry has been cute. And but what people are really talking about in all this was the following segment. Rosemary talking about how she wants to get another shot. She wants to get back in the Knockouts Championship competition realm, and get that back for her and her, what do they call them? Hivelings. And then we get the return of Taya Valkyrie. Long awaited return. And I'm sure some people know as far as why she wasn't at the last set of tapings. She was sorely missed, but she's back. She's back in the Impact Zone. I have missed her. Lucha Underground fans have missed her. So this rivalry is going on again between Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary, and it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I don't know when these two are going to face again. I don't think it's going to be I don't know. Crossroads is already pretty loaded as far as matches. We might get a match tomorrow. We'll see. I don't think it's booked. Might be last minute. We'll see. But the ending segment to this was great. We get the road to Valhalla from Taya to Rosemary on the entrance ramp, making a Hiveling pancake out of Rosemary. So good to see Taya back. You'd have no idea, and I'm trying not to lose my mind over this, but I am very happy over this. I am. Great to see her. And let's see. We get the commitment ceremony. I know I'm going to forget something here. We get the commitment ceremony. And this I was actually laughing out loud at. Laurel Van Ness in a commitment ceremony with her championship, and KM, who I don't think we knew was ordained, was the master of ceremonies for this. This was absolutely hilarious. And he's like, I've married man and man, woman and woman, man and woman. And he's like, it's 2018, folks, and blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, boy. And she kept, trying to get Allie to come out, and so she could attack her, but it completely backfired. Oh, first we got excuse me. First we got Braxton Sutter coming out in a neck brace, which was even more hilarious. And and basically proposing that he, and the belt have a three-way union. And she kicks him to the curb with a quickness, which was funny. It's like, she's like, no, you had your chance with me. Goodbye. And she keeps dragging this out, keeps wanting for Allie to come out and say something against this, and she doesn't appear. She's very frustrated. And then one of the cameraman, or in this case, camera woman, comes out of nowhere, up from behind her, attacks her, and, makes an ass of the entire situation. Humiliates her. So that match is going on at Crossroads. Can't wait to see that. We finally see Allie possibly get her first championship in the Impact Zone. Can't wait to see that. Then we get the match that everyone is talking about. The match itself was actually really good. It's the aftermath, what happens after the match, that everyone is talking about. It was a brutal match between Eddie Edwards and the I was trying to think of what they call him, the Death Machine, Callahan. And I think the best move out of this whole match was the pile driver on the apron. Just looked brutal, just badass, and I'm surprised he got up from that. The spot at the end, what everyone was talking about, and I'm surprised they showed it on TV. I really am. But they didn't show everything they could have, which made it, it was, they kept it PG. They showed the hit. They showed him instantly, roll out of the ring, covering his face. And then they just zoomed in on Callahan, mean mugging for the camera. Which Sammy knew he screwed up. Okay? And you can see that in his face. He was, his expression was priceless. If you go back and look at it, his expression was ultimately priceless. He had the, oh my God, what did I just do? But at the same time, I have to keep my heel persona look. And so, yeah, he knew it was bad. He knew it was bad. And the aftermath of all this is hilarious. How many people are talking about this? I don't know what Cornette all said. I saw the thing on Cassius Ohno, and you should be ashamed of yourself. And it's just getting more attention for Sami Callihan. And Sami Callihan, responding and, oh yeah, well, look at the size of my account. Look how busy I am. It's like, he's playing the heel, folks. He's the ultimate heel. You can love him, you can hate him. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea. I get that. But look, the guy's even selling a T-shirt from this, for crying out loud. He's eating up the attention, and he's profiting from it. Now, ultimately in all this, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of rematch or whatever. It was a tag team match booked for Crossroads. That's obviously not happening because of the injury from when this was being taped. We're getting a handicap match at the request of Lashley. Lashley versus OVE with Callahan at ringside, which I don't know. It's not looking too good for Lashley. Those odds are not too good. We'll see what happens though. Is Edwards going to end up getting some revenge down the road somewhere? I mean, he won the match. It's just the injury that he has to get revenge for. And all in all, here's my opinion on the whole thing. I've watched it several times. And the first time, yeah, I'll admit, I jumped when I saw it. I knew it was coming. You knew he was hit somehow with the bat. The first time I saw it, it happened so fast, it looked like he completely missed the chair. Replaying it, you can tell he did hit the chair, but it bounced off the chair and then went straight down to his face. It all happened so fast. Do Do I blame Callahan? No. Do I blame Eddie Edwards? No. Who do I blame? I blame both of them. Okay? I blame both. And I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, they were stupid for doing this." No, look, accidents happen in professional wrestling. Okay, you you do enough of these kind of spots, one's bound to go a little off. You're in the heat of the moment. You're trying to make this look good. You can't sit there and critique everything in a match and make sure everything, okay, now hold it here. Don't move. Okay, now I'm going to swing. Don't move. You can't do that in the ring. Okay? You're flying by the seat of your pants. You put the chair down. Wham. You know, could he have done it differently? Could it have gone better? Absolutely. Did it? No, it didn't. So, yeah, it sucks that Eddie got his face busted. Why are you laughing? It's that little sick thing in the back of my head. I'm sorry. It's Sammy's laughing. He's looking at his bank account laughing. It's true. It's a fact. So you can be pissed off at Sammy all you want. I'm not. Am I going to praise him for it? No. Was it a horrible accident? Yes. But are people going to come out of this okay in the long run? Absolutely. You know, I'm sure that Styles heel bone. Yeah, I'm such a jerk. The aftermath of this is what's going to count on TV or somewhere down the road. Probably happen at the next pay-per-view or some big taping down the road between the two. We'll have a hardcore whatever cluster of a match to set up something big between the two. All in all, Sammy's doing a great job of bringing eyes to the situation. Okay? He's a businessman. He's promoting the hell out of this. It's getting talked about, period. So, like the late, great Motley Crue said way back in the day, as long as they're talking about you, good or bad, right? So, so that's my thoughts on that. You know, you may not agree with the opinion, but it's an opinion. It's mine. It's what it is. Everyone's going to be fine in the end, and we'll just sit back and eat our popcorn watching it happen. There you have it. So, yeah, Crossroads is tomorrow. I can't wait for that. Let's look at the card really quick. We've got the main event. Morrison versus Aries for the Impact Championship. That is going to absolutely tear the house down. I cannot wait for that. Come on, computer. I'm trying to get the card up here. Wow, I really need a new mouse. So the scheduled card is as such. We got Morrison versus Aries, Ishimori and Seidel. It looks like both championships are on the line. That's kind of interesting. The tag team championships on the line. LAX defending against Cult of Lee. It doesn't look like there's any steps there. Just a regular tag match, but hey, you never know. Knockouts Championship, Allie going after Laura Van Ness's Knockouts Championship. And what was supposed to be a tag match is now a handicap match, OVE versus do I have to? Walking Armageddon. I hate calling him that. It just sounds so, I don't know. Although Jeremy Borash always said it the best. Walking Armageddon. It's whatever. So we got those 5 matches. I don't know if we're going to get more than that. We'll see. And somewhere looming in all this, and I'll wrap it up with this brief conversation, is Alberto El Patron. He's still out there. I'll say this. He looks better now than what he did when taping started a few months ago. And like when they were taping in Canada, he just, I don't know. Is it me? He just didn't look well. And his whole comeback to the company just didn't look good. But I think, I don't know, he's in a different space now. He's more focused. I don't know what it is. To me, I just feel like it's getting better for him. A lot of news about him lately. It's going to be interesting to see where he is wrestling-wise within the next few months. He just got announced for Triple Mania for next year. And when that is, I don't know. I have to look and see when the date of that is. And, I mean, he's gone back and forth in and out of AAA over the years. You know, people have their ups and downs with AAA, management, what have you. But that's one thing you do say about the wrestling business or being in the wrestling business is you never say never. Heck, look at what Ray is doing. Ray is all over the place. Now, I've heard he's injured, but besides that point, he's all over the place. He's wrestling the indies. He just did the Royal Rumble for WWE. And he's also, well, was supposed to wrestle the show for New Japan in LA. Now, if he's injured, that may not happen, which would really suck. But it's already sold out. If he doesn't show up, that was just recently booked. So there's going to be no loss from the company if he's not there. Because like I said, it was already sold. It sold out in, 5 minutes? Holy crap, you know? So I'll be keeping an eye on the story as far as Rey Mysterio and his injury. And no, he's not showing up at WrestleMania. Get that out of your heads. Stop. Especially if he's injured now. But there's also been talks of Alberto El Patron talking with WWE. Well, what I read, and who knows what's true and what's made up these days. I really don't know. It's hard to tell anymore. Impact's for sale again. Oh. Justin from ESPN must have been saying that. Of course. Patron was in WWE offices filming something for a Rey Mysterio feature. Something to that effect. And while he was there, they asked him to come back. I would highly doubt that would happen. And how true that is, I don't know. I'm going to take that with less than a grain of salt, folks. I really am. I'm not going to feed into that at all. I'm not going to, let's speculate. Let's talk it. No, I'm not. Especially if he just got announced for AAA. But I don't know. I mean, if it's like a Rey Mysterio situation where he's just, okay, big event here, big event here, big event here. Maybe that's what Patron is doing. He's just trying to get that paycheck and keep the water. Water? Dear God. Try to keep the money flowing like water. How about that? Nice recovery. Speaking of water, I'm out of coffee. gonna get me some? No. So yeah, nonetheless, Petrona's still looming, still wants that championship back in Impact Wrestling. And who knows? Maybe he'll show up at Crossroads and screw everyone. No, not literally. Dude, you're nasty. You need to get out more. You just, you sit down here and watch porn all day. You're just gross. You're not helping me. You're not even getting me coffee. What good are you? Seriously. Unreal. So, for this idiot over here, I am J-Bone. This has been the Impact Wrestling review for Smash This podcast. Can't wait for Crossroads. Should be a fun show on Impact Wrestling this Thursday. It's tomorrow night. Like I said, we're better late than ever, but I wanted to talk about this. Everyone's talking about this. A lot of controversy looming around the whole Sami Callihan, Eddie Edwards debacle. Well, you got my 2 cents on that, folks. So, thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, by all means, check out the rest of the content. And if you dig it, give it a like, give the channel a sub, and ring that bell for notifications, so you can get the latest content for my channel whenever it hits your devices, whatever you're watching on. So we'll see you down the road for the next one. Some big news coming tomorrow on Facebook Live from Matthews and Dutt from Impact. They're going to talk about, I don't know if it's going to be matches or just official people involved. We'll see exactly what it is. I'm not sure. Regarding the whole Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling at WrestleCon. That is some big news, folks. I cannot wait to see who's all involved, who's facing who. We still may do, well, depending on what they release tomorrow for information, I may or may not do some fantasy booking. I was definitely going to do it, but if they're going to start releasing matches with a month away, then well, that kind of throws fantasy booking out the window. But we'll see what they come up with tomorrow. I'll be watching that closely and bringing you the latest news on here. Smash This podcast. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you real soon.